It's officially a wrestling holiday, everyone. Happy WrestleMania. And today I'm going to be using WWE 2K23 to simulate some of the matches. I'll also give you some of my predictions along the way. You ready? You riding? Strap in and ride with your boy. Let's go. Okay, right off the bat, we're going to start with John Cena versus Austin Theory. And oddly enough, the way this simulation started is wild as shit, but I could see it happening. Austin Theory attacks John Cena right out the gate. And the funny thing about that is I think it would add to the match. The build for this, it hasn't been a lot of build because, John Cena is a busy guy, man. So, he hasn't really been around Raw a lot. But Theory's managed to keep this going with his promos and just his actions and overall just his character work. The simulation, the match gets pretty physical. At times, you get John Cena really showing his strength. At other times, you get Austin Theory really showing his athleticism. And that's exactly how I expect it to go in real life. For the most part, Cena dominated the match early. He even showed us a suicide dive, which I can't see OG John Cena doing right now. But he had control of the match. Notice I said had because at some point in the match, even wilder, Vinnie Mac himself wanders out there in support of Austin Theory. I don't see it happening, but it was kind of cool to see. And of course, Cena being Cena, he no-sold everything. He no-sold Vinnie Mac. He no-sold Austin Theory. Come on, baby. It's Super Cena. Even stronger. But eventually, Austin Theory did gain control of the match. He landed a few big moves, including the first A-Town down. Notice I said first because, of course, Super Cena no-sold that bad boy. Austin Theory landed another big-time backbreaker before landing another A-Town down before he got the pin. The simulation says Austin Theory, and in this case, I'm gonna have to agree with the simulation. Look, man, I want to see Cena win as much as the next guy, but I don't see him sticking around, and it would do Austin Theory some good to just be able to have that on his resume. Shout out him celebrating with Vinnie Mac. And not only that, Vinnie Mac getting his own US title. It's his company. He can do what he wants. But yeah, I agree with the simulation in this case. The next match we have is the SmackDown Women's Championship. You got Rhea Ripley representing Judgment Day going up against our champion, Charlotte Flair. The build to this match has been lackluster in my opinion. You had a couple of attacks, but I think the build has really exposed how bad Rhea Ripley is on the mic. She's getting better, she's improving, but some of those promos really put your boy to sleep. It was all bad. The simulation itself went pretty well. Charlotte showed off some of her technical prowess. She even hit a couple high flying moves, as you're gonna see. And Rhea Ripley, who doesn't hit a lot of high-flying moves in real life, decided to break them out for this simulation. She decided to break out a planchula, and I want to believe that's a 4-leaf clover. But of course, Charlotte's not tapping to that. Rhea off the top rope with the drop kick. That's all types of fun. But eventually, Rhea just overpowered Charlotte. She got the 1-2-3 win. And once again, the simulation says Rhea Ripley. I tend to agree. In our next match, we got Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Arguably, this could be the best build of Mania so far. This has almost been a year in the making. And of course, father versus son is always going to be dope. So the simulation itself, I can honestly say, once again, I felt like it was pretty true to real life. There was a lot of athleticism flashed in this from both sides, both Rey and Dominic. Even though as Dominic starts to become more popular, he has done less high-flying moves. And I feel like anybody in the ring with Ray is going to look good because he's one of the greatest of all time and he's going to throw his body around. But in this simulation, so did Dom. The match really started to go Dom's way once he started to use his strength on Ray. Because, being one of the best cruiserweights of all time still means you're a little guy. Shout out to Gresh. And eventually, you knew Dom had to end it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if this is how it ends in real life. Dom hits a 619. He goes up to the high rent district. Rest in peace, Eddie. Say what you want about Dom. Dom has one of the best frog splashes for a kid I've seen. 1, 2, 3. The simulation gives Dominic the win. I'm going to tend to agree with the simulation once again. There's no reason that Ray would need this win, and right now you're building a pretty decent heel in Dominic, so there's really no need to trash that right now. Up next, we got the Intercontinental Triple Threat. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And honestly, man, this has banger written all over it. I don't know what most people are expecting, but what you should be expecting is big, meaty men slapping meat. There's going to be a lot of high impact moves. There's going to be a lot of car crash moves. This thing got physical quick. And of course, we did have triple threat rules. So in 2K, weapons are permitted. And my boy Drew McIntyre took full advantage of that. People was getting put down with the chair. People got hurt. But, oh man. Shout out to the mean powerbomb Gunther landed right here. But as far as the match goes, Sheamus took control. He seized it in the right moment. And he got the 1, 2, 3, even though Drew came really close to breaking it up. And honestly, once again, I'm going to agree with the simulation. This is one of those, they're going to give it to Sheamus because he's been the MVP of the year. He's worked really hard, and it's time to reward him a little bit. But he's going to lose it soon, in my opinion. Up next, we got Demon Finn Balor versus Edge. The build for this, once again, shout out to WWE. They've been building this for a while. And with it being a Hell in a Cell, I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm not looking forward to it in terms of them using the cell. I'm looking forward in terms of the end of this story. I'm kind of curious to see what Judgment Day is going to do next. I'm kind of curious to see where Edge goes after this. This match, they didn't use the cell or the weapons a lot. They brought them all out. But eventually, it came down to this mean missile drop kick that Finn dropped on Edge. He used the chair a little bit. We got Edge using the chair a little bit. Finn hit a 1916 and that was the end of it. The simulation gives this one to Finn Balor. I would tend to agree. Like I said, you're building Judgment Day into something special, and there's no need to have Edge take this win. Up next, we got probably one of the matches everybody is looking most forward to night one. Kevin Owens with his tag team partner Sami Zayn going up against the tag team champions Jimmy and Jey Uso. This simulation was a lot of fun to watch. There was a lot of fast-paced tag action to start the match. KO and Sammy worked really well. More about the game. I'm not talking about real life here. The game really did a good job with the AI this year. I feel like most of the wrestlers and their counterparts, their real life counterparts, are really close to each other. That's one compliment I can give them. As far as the real life build for this has been, it's been amazing. It's been one of the best wrestling stories of all time, and I don't expect any less. As far as the match goes, I think KO is going to hit his spots. Sammy's going to hit his spots. The Usos are always a great watch as far as a tag team. Hey, I just rhymed accidentally. Shout out to Chris Smooth. Here we got KO doing KO things. KO lands a big move on Jimmy Uso. Jay Uso gets in the middle, catches this stunner, hold that, and then, just for good measure, my man KO gives him another stunner. And 2K being 2K, Jimmy is stuck in the Matrix while KO celebrates. We get a Usi Palantula, which, you know, you can expect that. It is WrestleMania, why not? But eventually it breaks down, and to me, this is the perfect ending. This is how it should end in real life. You get Jay in the ring, double team animation from Sammy and KO, and eventually Sammy lands one haluva kick right to the face of Jay. It's got to end like this. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champs. Fully agree with that. As much as I enjoy the Usos, this has to be the beginning of the end of the bloodline. So losing those tag championships, there will be ramifications. But hey, I wonder if you separate the tag belts after this, or we get new tag belts, because it's about that time. Up next, we got Seth friggin' Rollins versus Logan Paul. And this was a really weird booking choice to me. Seth Rollins is one of your top 5 or 8 superstars in the company. To throw him up against a guy who's not really going anywhere as far as the future, I didn't get it. And it's weird because the simulation itself really didn't have a lot of highlights. The funny thing is, I think in real life, this match is going to be amazing. They're both really athletic guys, and Seth could have a great wrestling match with just about anybody. Hell, he could have a great wrestling match with a broom. What up, Kenny Omega? But the simulation, we had a lot of just random moves, and then it turned right here. Seth missed the frog splash. Logan Paul, however, did not miss his frog splash. He gets the 1, 2, 3 win over Seth Rollins. This is the one thing I think I'm gonna disagree with as far as the simulation goes. I think they give Seth this win. They gotta give Seth this win, right? We can't have Logan Paul beating Seth at WrestleMania, can we? Up next, finally, we make it to our main event. Adrenaline in my soul, Cody motherfucking Rhodes versus the Tribal Chief himself. Give me a second to acknowledge him real quick. The simulation started out with Cody hitting a lot of quick moves that didn't really do a lot of damage to Roman. But as the match went on, and especially once the match spilled outside, it got really physical. At most times, Roman manhandled Cody. Roman threw him around. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen in real life. You got to remember, as far as 2K goes, Roman Reigns is a 99 overall. As far as these simulations, he's going to be really hard to beat. So he really put the pause to Cody. He really showed my man a thing or two. He threw him around a little bit, and he ended it with one of those good old spears that he be throwing around. At least this time it's not Brock Lesnar. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win over Cody and retains. Now, if this happens, a lot of people will be upset. But here's the thing. Personally, I would agree with the decision. Here's why. We're coming in on 1,000 days with Roman Reigns as champion. That's kind of hard to pass up. By giving him those 1,000 days, that would make him one of the greatest final bosses we've ever had. And not only that, I think it would make Cody's story also. Part of what Roman Reigns said in the lead up to this was, whenever things get tough, you quit. He said that to Cody. Cody losing at WrestleMania, things would get tough. He would prove him wrong if he showed up the very next night on Raw and re-challenged him again for the championship. You would kind of have your Avengers in-game situation where you go up against the final boss the first time, you get your ass kicked, you go back, you beat him the second time. And as far as the second time, I wouldn't even have it at Money in the Bank. I would have him beat him at SummerSlam. Hopefully your boy is at SummerSlam. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I plan to do these for just about every pay-per-view. Tell me your predictions in the comments. Do you think the simulation got it wrong? Do you think I got it wrong? I pretty much agree with most of the simulation. And more than anything, I just hope all you guys enjoy WrestleMania. I know I plan to. Shout out to all the homies I got that's down there live. I'll catch y'all on the next one. We got a lot planned next week. Peace.